Yo, what's up guys, VTech here, and today I want to do a quick review on the Apple Watch Series 8. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So there are three main points that I made about this Apple Watch, and that's its durability, its features, and its battery life. But before we get into those main points, we really need to know who this device is targeted to. So in my honest opinion, I think that this Apple Watch is mostly designed for those who are already in the Apple ecosystem. And in most cases, those who own an Apple iPhone most of the time own other Apple products, not just that iPhone. So this makes this a very easy buy if you're already in the Apple ecosystem. Now for Android users and other smartphone company users, this Apple Watch is a no-go because this Apple Watch is actually branded as an iPhone accessory and not just a watch to be had by itself. So right now I'm just going to be talking about Apple users because those are really the only people that can actually use this product to its full potential. But that still doesn't really answer the question. Who is this Apple Watch for? So let's just say you're a contractor and you're working on your hands and knees every day. This Apple Watch can do that. With its crack resistance, and I say that in air quotes because it's glass, it can obviously crack, and its dust resistance, which will get you through the day without having to really worry about damaging your Apple Watch too much. So let's just say you're a swimmer and you like to take laps in the pool every day, but you want to track how many laps you're doing without having to keep it in your head. This Apple Watch can also do that while being water resistant and sweat resistant. So if you're an active swimmer, this Apple Watch is also for you. So let's just say you're not even a contractor or an active swimmer or an athlete. You're just an average person working a 9 to 5. This Apple Watch is really good for those people because it has a lot of features that many other smartwatches don't have. While the Apple Watch does cost $400, I feel like that is a very good price for the amount of stuff that comes with the watch and the amount of capabilities it has, which is the next point I wanted to get into, which is the amount of features that the Apple Watch comes with. So right off the bat, whenever buying the Apple Watch Series 8, you have a choice between either the 45mm Apple Watch or the 41mm Apple Watch. Now, depending on how big or small you want the watch to look on your wrist, I feel like the big option is always better since it is already a pretty small device and you want to be able to touch all the buttons that are on the Apple Watch without having to misclick and just go through all those hard troubles. So I always opt with the bigger one, but you can always opt for smaller if that's what you're into. I just find smaller displays, especially on a watch, just being a lot more tedious and just having a lot more room for error. So now that I've talked about the size of the watch and all that jazz, I want to get into one of my favorite features of the watch, and that's the always on retina display. Now there's really no need to explain what this feature does. It's literally exactly how it sounds. The screen is literally just always on, even whenever you're not looking at it. So if I point it to my face, the screen is gonna brighten up. But as soon as I point it back to y'all in the camera, it's gonna dim. But that dimming is not gonna make the watch lose as much battery life, opposed to the screen just always being in the on state. Now talking more about the screen, this screen is actually 2000 nits. And what that practically means is that it's going to be very bright, even whenever the sun's shining on the watch. Normally that's a problem for watches and even smartphones that you can't see what's really on the phone whenever the sun is shining right on it. But this watch actually makes that very easy and not something to worry about at all. So the next feature I wanted to talk about is something that me personally I haven't used, but I know many people would use this who have heart issues. Now if you don't know what an ECG is, it is an electrocardiogram, and that is practically where you can see the health of your heart and how it's doing just on the fly with the Apple Watch. Many people with heart issues have to go out and buy separate devices just to monitor their heart. So I think it's really cool that Apple decided to build one in so that it's just convenient and you can just do it on the fly. Now another health feature that actually might save your life, and this one applies to me personally because I just started driving, is the crash detection feature. Now what this feature does is it practically just detects whenever you've gotten in a car crash, and it's used millions and millions of different car crash data to actually know whenever you've gotten to a car crash and not just some other small bump on the road. Now whenever this car crash detection thing goes off, it not only notifies actual emergency services, but it also notifies all of your emergency contacts, so those that you love the most can actually know whenever you've gotten to a car crash. Now what I find is really funny is the fact that this crash detection thing has actually messed up in a lot of cases, and in the most case, it's mostly on roller coasters, which I understand, but I feel like if Apple claims that they've studied millions and millions of car crashes, so they actually know whenever you've gotten into a car crash, it shouldn't be that hard to tell the difference between a roller coaster and an actual car. And not just a car, but a car crash. So the last feature I wanted to talk about this Apple Watch is the fall detection. And this can just be really useful for those who maybe are more prone to falling than others, and they might not have those services for whenever they do fall to help them back up. This feature can actually be a lifesaver in most cases because you never know whenever a loved one might have fallen down the stairs or seriously hurt themselves. So this feature is just really cool for Apple to integrate into their Apple Watch. So enough about the features. I wanted to get into the last and juiciest part of this Apple Watch review, and that is the battery. So this Apple Watch actually has a 280 milliamp hour battery, and for most of y'all who know how big phones batteries are, you might be thinking, man, that's a really small battery, but you also have to remember how small the Apple Watch actually is. So this is a pretty good sized battery for how small this device actually is. To further put that into perspective, this Apple Watch can actually last up to 18 hours in normal power mode and up to 36 hours in low power mode. So that's a pretty long time for a smartwatch. The Apple Watch takes around 45 minutes to get to 80% and an extra 30 minutes to get to 100%. So that charge is not really that long for the amount of battery life that you're getting. You don't even really need to charge the Apple Watch every day if you're using it all day, every day. So in conclusion, I feel like this Apple Watch is just a very good buy for those who are already in the Apple ecosystem and want to expand more into the Apple ecosystem. And not only just this being connected to the Apple ecosystem makes it good, also just its features and its durability and its battery life that it has makes it a very good watch for the money. So that's going to be it for today's video. Make sure you like and subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and just leave a comment below if you made it to this point in the video. I'm trying to make it to 100 subscribers by the end of the year, so if you could subscribe really quick, that would make that very possible. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.